The whole thesis of the principles book Tony O'Brien and I wrote is exactly to connect economic concepts to the real world. Students come to principles of economics thinking they're going to find answers to a lot of real world questions. And instead, they often get X's and Y's and guns and butter. So we started out with that in mind. Some that I like, one example we've used, I think, in all of the editions of the textbook over many, many years, has to do with the price of a letter autographed by Abraham Lincoln, arguably our nation's greatest president, and a letter signed by John Wilkes Booth, the person who assassinated President Lincoln. Booth letters are more expensive than Lincoln letters. And students go, well, that's impossible, except when you consider supply and demand, where we use the example that President Lincoln signed many more letters than to John Wilkes Booth. The way Tony and I see these examples is twofold. One is to illustrate an economic concept. The other is because the way you encounter economics in the real world is you see the example, and then you try to figure out, well, what's going on? And that's why this teaching method of constant real world that we've done from the beginning, we think is very powerful, and more important, students do too. I find that students use AI a great deal. I think that's a huge plus personally. I think many of my faculty colleagues do too, though not all as much as I do or I would like. And I think it's important for both faculty and students to learn how to use AI to empower them. The way I think of it is, don't use AI to prop you up, use it to lift you up. In teaching, I use a tool where in a case, a student can come to the class with an argument, use the AI tool to bounce the argument off of and get pushback. Or have you considered the other argument? And by the time the student comes to class, he or she is really ready to engage. So if you let it lift you up like that instead of just propping you up, I think AI is a game changer for students, and I mean that in a positive way. This may be just one person's view, but I think the most important thing in your education is learning how to think. Fields change, facts change. But what I really got out of my college education and out of grad school was how to think. When Tony O'Brien and I sat down to write a principles book, that's what we had in mind. If you could constantly use the real world to motivate, not to give laundry lists, but to motivate, you give students a sense of, okay, if I look at the world, what can I deduce? How do I think? That's not only a way to get a lot out of an education, it's a way to insulate yourself from some of the turmoil in the job market. That remains a sellable skill.